I've talked about it a few times in my workout videos and also on my Twitter feed. So today I wanted to talk to you in a little bit more detail about the Pilates breath. Now, the Pilates breath is really important in core work because it helps you learn how to fully expand your diaphragm and release your diaphragm. It also helps you engage and strengthen all of your core muscles, which includes the transversus abdominis, which is the largest muscle of the core. And it's also very important because it has type 1 muscle fibers, which fatigue much more slowly than type 2 muscle fibers, which is what makes up the rest of the muscles in your abdomen. So before we go forward, I guess, why don't we go ahead and try a Pilates breath so that you know what I'm talking about. Now, typically a Pilates instructor would tell you to put your hands on either side of your rib cage and while sitting upright or standing. And what I would say about that is when I first heard that, I was like, but Pilates instructor, I have kind of a belly, so I don't just feel my rib cage when I put my hands on my rib cage. But so basically what you want to have is your palms of your hands on the biggest part of your rib cage on either side. And don't press because you want your hands to be neutral so that you can see them move apart and then come back together. Which should happen if you're doing it correctly. So sit upright or stand. You want your core engaged here. And let all of the breath out of your lungs. And then you're going to breathe in through your nose. And when you breathe in through your nose, you want to send the air back and down into your diaphragm rather than into your throat, into the back of your throat. So hands on your rib cage, let all of the air out of your lungs. When you breathe in through your nose, you want to see your fingers pull apart a little bit. And when you exhale through your mouth, they should come back together. And as you can see, it's sort of a subtle motion, but you definitely should see some movement in that direction where your fingers pull apart and then come back together. So now try it with me. Hands on either side of your rib cage. And breathe in through your nose, and you want the air to go down into your belly. I encourage you to try this breath in front of a mirror so that you can actually see your hands coming apart and coming back together. And the more that you practice it, the more natural it'll become. And you mostly have to practice it when you're doing core work. Because one of the problems with using like kind of a unconscious breath is that you tend to maybe inhale on the concentric phase of an exercise, which can really create a lot of pressure inside your abdomen. If you have blood pressure issues or heart issues, that can be sort of dangerous. But then on top of that, you want to be able to get through a core exercise, maybe if it's a minute long. And if you're recruiting those type 2 muscle fibers that fatigue more quickly, you won't be able to. So it's basically entirely counterproductive to any kind of core work. So let's try to do that a couple more times. Hands on either side of your rib cage. Don't press down. Let all the air out of your lungs. And then in through your nose. And again. I find one of the techniques that help me with this breathing is that I think about kind of opening the roof of my mouth to send the air further back and down into my belly. That might help you. It's really important to breathe in through your nose with your mouth closed because you don't want the air to go down your throat through your mouth. You want it to go all the way down into your belly. So as I said, the more that you practice it, it'll get into your muscle memory. It'll become more comfortable. And then before you know it, when you're doing core work, you'll just be doing it automatically without even having to think about it. And the great benefit of that is that you also will have a really strong core. And that's what we're going for here. So please practice the Pilates breath, and I'll see you next time.